Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Little Bumble Bears Let's Play. I'm Kristen, and I am back with Zoo Vet. Now this is the game before the last one I did. Remember I did Zoo Vet Endangered Animals? Well, this is the original Zoo Vet game, just called Zoo Vet. I hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Did you also play Zoo Vet growing up? We're gonna go and help a lot of cute little animals. Hope they feel better soon. Dr. Kristen's on the case. But yeah, let me know. And of course, subscribe if you're new because you don't want to miss out on my future Let's Plays. Check out the playlist in the description box to see other simulation games like this that you might enjoy that I've done. And if you want to see any other simulation games, well, yeah, don't miss out on joining the Discord because I often stream a lot of these games in my Discord server as well. Use the invite link in the description box and come join. We have wonderful text channels. You can post memes. You can come hang out with us. There's always some fun discussions going on. And my new self-help page that has a lot of great tips and tricks. If you're dealing with lots of different stuff in your life, like anxiety or depression or sleep insomnia, all great topics in there. Building confidence. I'm very proud of it. And I'm so glad it's helped so many people in my community. And yeah, feel free to come join, read through it, and hopefully it'll help you too. All right. Let's get started treating some animals. Please enjoy, everyone.
Hello, I'm Julia Sullivan, the head veterinarian here at the zoo. We've been short-staffed, so we're all very excited to have you come on board as the new vet. Come on in. Let me introduce you to the vet techs here. They're responsible for assisting you with the medical treatment of the animals.
Yes, so if you need anything at all, you can just call on me, or us. Oh well, we're all very helpful here. Oh, and hi, I'm Nikki.
Nikki here will be by your side when you're treating an animal at the hospital. When you need to be at an enclosure,
That's me. Name's Mike.
And me, I'm Dawn. And as much as I'd like to say I'm chief cook and bottle washer here at the zoo, we can't forget about the animals' keepers.
Oh, yeah. They totally know what's happening with their animals. They're the ones who usually bring problems to our attention.
you'll have plenty of time to get to know everyone later on. For now, you might want to head over to your office. I'm sure you're anxious to get started. Be sure to check the map on the wall to see which animals need care. I'll check back with you after each case to review what you've done. Good luck. This computer will let you research the animals and play games, such as trivia. This map takes you to all
When I was making my daily rounds, I saw that Victoria here was severely limping on her left leg. Looks like she's in pain.
Her records say she's current on her vaccinations, so I'm sure we got that area covered. But then again, I'm not the vet. What do you say, Doctor? Victoria lives with 35 other flamingos, which seems like a lot. I mean, it is a lot, but it's not a lot for a flamingo. Does that make any sense?
Just a day or so. None that I've noticed. I haven't seen any others that do. Poor girl. It must really hurt when she walks.
Are the breathing and pulse normal? Breathing and pulse are normal. I can tell she's in good hands.
This animal will be in top shape in no time.
That's the way, nice and clean. And what medication should we give our friend here? Right. That cream will help prevent infections and moisturize the cracks, too. Nice job. We wouldn't want anything getting in there and causing an infection.
Hard work paid off. Each step taken, no pun intended, was a smart move.
I'll monitor her progress and let you know if she needs further treatment, if you want. Of course you do. Anyway, thanks again.
Those feet cracks are common in flamingos and are caused by chronic irritation from walking on hard surfaces. We'll have to take her away from the flock to soak her foot in Epsom salt baths. Top that with regular treatment with Preparation H, and her foot should be better in no time flat. You made the right call on that diagnosis. Your thoroughness will help save this animal. Overall, you did an excellent job in treating this animal.
I often take time out of my long day and chill out watching the lions do their thing. That's when I noticed something wasn't right with Nico.
Takashi's always running himself ragged, but this time it's Nico who looks it. His hair's been thinning and it's coming out along the base of his tail and in the back.
Plus, he keeps scratching and chewing himself.
Far be it from me to slow you down. Let's shake a tail and get this problem fixed, dude.
I like to hang with my cats after work. Yeah. No, he's not. I'd say about a month now.
The breathing and pulse, are they normal? Yep, you're reading my mind, Doc. Seems normal. Sure glad I don't have to do that.
Cool, Daddy-o.
Gnarly! Look at those fleas! Let's see if the UV light picks up on anything.
He's an interesting character.
I'll get this to the lab. Wonder if we're gonna find a fungal infection. Let me know what you want to administer. I don't think that's right. How about this one? Tell me which one, and I'm all over it. No way. Let's try this.
Make sure Nico gets prednisone. Got it.
Thanks to you, Doc. Looks like everything's going back to normal, including Nico.
Nico had a nasty case of fleas, which is why he was scratching so much. On top of that, Nico suffered an allergic reaction to them, which caused that redness and hair loss. But with the fleas treated, Nico can go back to his king of the jungle self. You identified the problem and gave the appropriate diagnosis. Nice work. You touched on all the right points in getting this patient's history. Overall, you did an excellent job in treating this animal.
During my regular rounds, I noticed our chimp Mario was covering his left eye. A quick once-over showed it's red and swollen. I'm not really sure where it came from.
At this point, I reckon it don't matter how he got it. We'll get him anesthetized so you can get right to work.
Hopefully his eye will heal soon and we can play Simon Says. I taught him how to play that. Chimps are really smart, you know. No. Not that I've seen. Yes.
You think the breathing is normal? Heart and lungs are clear, fit as a fiddle. It's normal, right?
Chimps are generally a lively bunch. You might even call Mario the worst of them. He seems to get into trouble a little too often.
Goodness gracious, what have I got myself into? I'm thinking it's normal.
At first, I thought he was playing peekaboo with me. But when I took a closer look, I saw his eye was red and swollen.
Goodness gracious, those swollen eyelids look pretty severe. If there was damage to the cornea, we'd see a stain in there. Okay, it's all irrigated now.
I appreciate your hard work.
Alrighty, that should soothe his eye a bit. Should reduce the swelling, too. He's looking good, but he'll have to endure this ointment for near about 2 weeks. I know he's gonna love that.
Indeed. But at least he won't miss out on all the fun he has with his fellow chimps. Thanks again, Doctor.
It's a good thing this eye trauma was minor. It could have led to an ulcer or corneal damage. Soft tissue trauma usually takes about 2 weeks to fully recover. But that's nothing compared with lifelong damage if the eye had gone untreated. I see we're in agreement about this animal's diagnosis. You have a perfect understanding of this patient's history. Your treatment of this animal was outstanding.
This morning I went to check on the giraffes. They usually look so beautiful together, but
What Richard's getting around to saying is that this giraffe has an unsightly problem we figure needs your attention.
and here's the good oil. I saw Liz stool on her rear legs and where we keep her overnight. You think you can give it a go? Lizette is not the only giraffe who's been known to give an apple or carrot a nudge. About a day. Yeah, one other has a little loose stool as well. Yes, that end is fine.
My, oh my.
Well, that's the dinky-dee.
Whew, the smell of that can make your hair stand on end. Okay, I lost my appetite. This test better tell us something good. If there's any bacteria in there, the lab will surely find out. Which one of these should I be fixing to give? should terminate those pesky parasites.
Bonzo work, Doctor. Now Lizette can spend some time with her real friends. You haven't left the rest of the herd in a lurch either.
All y'all better not be thinking this is over and done with. I'm fixing to reapply that gel in 2 weeks and keep checking on all of them. Don't want a repeat performance now, do we?
As you've just seen, infections can get pretty nasty. It's best to attack the problem with full force, treating the patient and any fellow animals she lives with to prevent the same infection from showing up again in a couple of weeks. You made the right call on that diagnosis. You touched on all the right points in getting this patient's history. This patient was in good hands with you.
Jenny hasn't eaten so much today, and usually she's a pig. Maybe it's nothing, but her abdomen looks a little swollen. Could be something serious.
Could be, or could be nature taking its course. Doc will tell us one way or another. This is more gripping than the grandest of dramas. Whatever will happen next?
She does seem a little less active than she usually does. No? I don't think so.
You felt something, didn't you? Think they're normal? You're darn tootin' right.
I feed Jenny thawed fish, but I add in vitamin E supplements. I want to throw in everything I can to keep her healthy.
Jenny's perfectly stable. I reckon we don't have anything to worry about. You see what I see?
My dad loves this kind of work too. Yee-haw! Break out the cigars. Jenny's pregnant.
And I'm gonna pick the name.
What can I say? She twisted my arm. Nice work, Doc.
A pregnant penguin? Well, that's fantastic. Jenny must be very proud, as is everyone else around here. Now we'll know to keep an extra close eye on Jenny. Looks like she'll be passing the egg in a day or so. Excellent. Your diagnosis is on the nose. Your thoroughness will help save this animal. Overall, you did an excellent job in treating this animal.
Hate to say it, but something's up with Jaimon. He's been acting completely berserko for a while. Kicking, biting his tail, running around in circles.
It had gotten pretty vicious. We had to act fast, so I put him down with a tranquilizer. See what you can figure out.
There's been a mob of people at the enclosure today. A few days now. No. None that I've noticed yet.
everything normal?
Well, that's Ridgy Ditch. Where'd you learn that? Wowza, you sure know what you're doing.
Is that normal? Man, this is lame. The list of your good deeds goes on.
Excellent move. You know I love my job, but I don't want to get a kick out of it.
Okay, Doc. Lab work drawn. What medication should we give this patient? Yeah, that should do the trick to calm this guy's nerves. Of all the things that could possibly be wrong, I'm relieved that it wasn't serious.
Everything's apples. Now he won't be causing any more problems. Otherwise, you'd be ear bashing with me every day.
Surprisingly enough, everything is normal. Jaimon's hyperactive behavior was simply the result of hormones. Even so, it's important to get the animal under control before it hurts anyone. Thanks to modern medicine, a standard supplement will calm him down. You identified the problem and gave the appropriate diagnosis. Nice work. You have a perfect understanding of this patient's history. This patient was in good hands with you. Great job on those cases. You're turning out to be quite an asset here at the zoo. In fact, take a look at the trophy case. There's a little special something to thank you for all your hard work. This is your trophy cabinet. The awards and trophies given to you for a job well done can be found here.
King here doesn't feel so royal these days. Poor Nipper's got the trots.
That's diarrhea to the rest of us. I checked and double-checked, and there's no record of feeding King anything out of the ordinary.
I noticed his vaccinations are up to date. It's up to you, Doc. King loves the visitors, always comes right up to the gate. Between you and me, I think he likes to spook him. Yeah, sure. Not really. No, King's all alone in there.
What do you see, Doc?
I can't wait to see King get back to his regular self. It'll be good for everyone.
His stool is bloody. You might want to have that analyzed. But I'm not getting near it. Oh man, intestinal worms! How are you gonna treat this? If the swab picks up any microorganisms, they'll grow in the nutrient. What should we get him, Doc? Mixing it in their grub is like the best way to give it to him.
Good on you. Those nasty little buggers are throwing it in.
Yeah, great job putting those parasites in their place.
Intestinal parasites are the villain behind King's loose stool. Without treatment, they'd multiply and King would become weak and dehydrated. Proper treatment now will kill off those parasites, and a follow-up in 2 weeks will make sure he stays well. I see we're in agreement about this animal's diagnosis. You have a perfect understanding of this patient's history. This patient was in good hands with you.
I think you should take a look at Big Dave. He seems depressed and weak.
Ooh, that sounds serious.
Yeah, and it wasn't hard for me to miss that Big Dave hasn't been eating food like he usually does.
Any idea what's going on? Big Dave's gonna make a comeback. I can feel it. Well, I don't just feel it. I can see the doc working. But you know what I mean.
He looks thin and weak. What's wrong?
Any idea what could be wrong? Fluids are just the thing to combat dehydration. How's the film look? Bloody urine is a definite sign of kidney or bladder infection. Lab work has been drawn. Big Dave has been treated for arthritis. But I'm pretty sure you know that that has nothing to do with why he's here today. Keep it up and he'll be fine. What should we give him, Doctor? He should be in stable condition after 2 or 3 weeks on antibiotics. Everything normal? Right, both are normal. It's normal, right? Phew! Wonder what he's been eating.
He's the sweetest guy. You'll have to come visit when he's better.
Oh, that's high. Wow, that was a lot of... I couldn't do it. Well, maybe, but I'm glad it was you. Big Dave's on the road to recovery.
I'm so relieved, and I won't be lax about giving him his antibiotics either.
A bacterial infection of the kidney is a serious problem. It's important to get the patient rehydrated and on meds as soon as possible. Follow-up treatment is also needed to make sure the infection is completely gone. With all of this, you should feel confident that Big Dave will be just fine. I see we're in agreement about this animal's diagnosis. There were relevant questions about the patient's history that were not asked. Superb job with this one, Doctor.
Tommy here's an older cobber of mine. Today's his yearly exam and vaccinations. If I'm not in need of a wake-up, he should be fine.
It's true. He appears to be perfectly healthy, but anyone with a grain of sense knows we need to check him out. Right, Doc?
I noticed he stood a little funny. Yeah, everything's A-OK. I'd have to say no. We're just here for the yearly exam.
What you reckon that means? Yep, both are normal. Seems normal to me. I'm thinking about skipping lunch today. You're a right smart doctor. Seems about normal, right? Well, looky here. What's stuck in there? My, oh my. It's normal. I'm sure you have been busy as a stump-tailed cow in fly time. What's it look like in there? How's the retina look? Nothing out of the ordinary. Blood sample drawn.
That rock won't hurt him anymore.
this'll help him walk better. Don't count your chickens until they hatch.
You're a ripper of a vet. Thanks heaps for working so hard.
Yup, it's easy as sliding off a greasy log backwards. Darling, you are magnificent. As I thought, Tommy's healthy, but he did need a little fix-me-up.
It's a good thing we have these yearly appointments. Right on, Doc.
Yearly wellness exams are essential, and Tommy's case proves it. In addition to the complete physical exam, blood tests, and the x-rays, they're good for catching other things that might otherwise be overlooked, such as that rock in his hoof. Remember, prevention is better than a cure. You made the right call on that diagnosis. Excellent job of getting the patient's history. Good work. Keep at it and challenge yourself to do even better.
Nicolo here's feeling a bit crook. He's been keeping his right eye closed all morning.
It's red and swollen, but we're catching it right away, so I bet he'll be fine.
We can't know that until we check him out. Hold him tight, boys. Ready, Doc?
I feed Nicolo pelleted feed and hay, and he's one of the few who has yet to refuse me.
Should I be worrying? I reckon that's high.
Have a gander at this.
What you seeing in there? See if there's any accumulation of the dye. You're right smart getting this stuff out of our friend's eye.
The way you have with animals is a real gas.
Not to worry, people. I know this animal is in good hands.
It would have been the awfulest for Nicolo if you hadn't caught this in time.
Ain't it the truth? I'll keep an eye on him, if that isn't in poor taste.
A mild or superficial ulcer is where the outer layer of the cornea has been scraped or worn away. A round of antibiotics should see that his eye returns to normal. If we hadn't caught it, Nicolo would have lost his entire eye. I agree with your diagnosis. Great job. Uncovering a more thorough patient history would have been helpful. Your treatment of this animal was outstanding.
More work for you, I'm afraid. Audrey's been scratching her rear.
Let's hope it's something harmless, right, Doc?
Take a quiz at this. Yes? I haven't seen any. Yeah, sure.
Is the pulse normal? Pulse seems normal. Looks normal to me. That's making me nauseous. Exactamundo.
Wonder what would cause her to develop those.
What's it feel like? Lab work has been drawn. I'm sure she's thankful. Gnarly! Audrey has a case of cutaneous horns.
That's clever. I thought horns grew on the other end.
Right on, Doc. Staka baka.
This doesn't look so hard when you're doing it. That should help.
Righteous move. If Richard hadn't noticed Audrey scratching, who knows how much bigger they could have gotten.
Don't worry, mate. I won't let it go to my head. It's a doc here who figured it all out.
Those masses under Audrey's tail were cutaneous horns. They often irritate the animal, but don't cause any real harm. It's best to remove them, otherwise they'll continue to grow. Excellent! Your diagnosis is on the nose. Excellent job of getting the patient's history. This patient was in good hands with you.
The strangest thing is happening. Okay, maybe not the strangest. There could be stranger.
I've noticed that Olivia's been spitting out her food. Hope we can find an explanation.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Or at least the doctor will. Right? Unless something escaped my attention, which, could happen. I'm not perfect. I don't believe she's been treated for anything in the last year or so.
Not at all. For the last couple days. No, not at all.
Well, are they normal?
It's not like we fed her something new that she wouldn't like.
Yep, those are indeed normal readings. Mind if I hold my nose? Yeah, the temperature's normal.
Olivia normally eats urinary formula premium cat food and fish 4 times a day. It's very good for her, though not, as you might imagine, very appetizing to the rest of us.
there's the problem. You do know how to handle this, right? What's it feel like? Let's get this over to the lab.
Nice work. You got the tooth out.
Rub-a-dub-dub. Chin up. You'll get it soon. Medication administered, Doctor. Which one of these does the patient need?
Wonderful work, Doctor.
I'm sure Olivia will be thrilled to have that bad tooth out. I know I would be. I mean, I am, but I would be too if I had the same problem.
And I'll put the antibiotics in her food each day. She won't know why, but she'll be feeling better very soon. All thanks to you, Doctor.
An abscessed premolar can be extremely painful for an animal, so the sooner it's removed, the better. If it's not treated, the patient will lose weight and become very weak in the process. Following up with antibiotics will ensure Olivia's healthy recovery. You identified the problem and gave the appropriate diagnosis. Nice work. You have a perfect understanding of this patient's history. Good work. Keep at it and challenge yourself to do even better. What can I say? Everyone was so impressed with how well you've been doing that the keepers and I had an idea. It is my pleasure to present to you the prestigious Animal Welfare Award. We haven't bestowed this prize on anyone in quite some time, so I think I'm as excited as you are.
Your next patient is a real young'un, a Chilean flamingo named Taylor, born just 3 days ago.
We don't even know its gender yet.
Yeah, we named it Taylor to cover our bases.
On your to-do list is pinioning the wings and finding out its gender. Have at it, partner. My pop started doing this when I was a kid. I used to love going to the zoo with him. Sure. Not really. Nope.
Only 3 days old, and look at all those cute little gray feathers. Looking normal to me. The retina looks good to me. Feels normal. What's it say?
You're powerful smart.
This job ain't all about medical crises. If it's done right. Seems like a good weight to me.
Try again, partner. You gotta be so careful with this case. If we don't pinion its wings, it could fly away and get into danger when it grows up. And that's not a risk I'm willing to take.
Lab work has been drawn.
Taylor took the surgery like a trooper. Takes after me, I think.
Nuh-uh. This darling baby girl's gonna grow up to break some hearts. Thanks for coming through for us, Doc.
A baby bird needs to have its wing clipped so that it doesn't fly out of the zoo and into harm's way. While you're at it, it's always a good idea to check the overall health of the young chick to make sure everything is developing as it should be. You made the right call on that diagnosis. Your thoroughness will help save this animal. Overall, you did a good job in treating this animal.
Do I got a problem for you? Ella lost a fight today against another lion.
Oh, wow. Look at that laceration on her right thigh.
Yeah, good thing she's current on her vaccinations.
She's prepped and ready. Let's get to work right quick so she doesn't get in a bigger heap of trouble.
When this is all over, she'll be hungry enough to scarf down a horse. Of course, she normally does.
doesn't look good. Smart move. Always disinfect the wound first. Otherwise, an infection could develop, and that would spell more trouble. Nice suturing job. You got the bleeding to stop lickety-split.
You're so good, you're giving me the chills.
Is the pulse normal? My, oh my. Glad you didn't forget to perform a thorough exam. That's a normal reading, don't you think?
You're one funky cat. Now that's what I call skills.
Thank you. It could have been a lot worse, but we still got to be careful about how we treat her.
Don't worry. I'll make sure she gets her antibiotics. Maybe we'll get lucky and she can avoid the fight next time.
Just as we suspected, Ella had a deep thigh laceration, which included a potentially serious severed artery. Proper cleaning and antibiotics will make sure she doesn't get a secondary infection. I agree with your diagnosis. Great job. Uncovering a more thorough patient history would have been helpful. You covered every step with panache.
It's that time of year again. For an annual checkup, that is. I can't stress enough how important they are. And Jaimon is ready for you to go to town.
Preaching to the choir here, mate. Anyway, Jaimon is ready to go. Ain't he a beaut?
Let's do a full workup on this animal since it's here. Can you tell if the breathing and pulse are normal?
Too right.
What does it say?
Yes? I've definitely noticed a difference in Jaimon's behavior since you saw him last. He's really calmed down. Just the abnormal gait I told you about. You make my job so much easier.
If I could bail on this, I would.
You're doing great.
Is that a good weight for him?
Does that look right to you? I noticed he stood a little funny.
Seems normal, right, Doc? Looks normal. Inner ear looks normal to me. The retina looks good. Blood sample drawn. This'll help the guy walk better.
Pretty spiffy. I bet you can do this with your eyes closed.
Cool! This guy won't have any problem standing on his 4 feet now. This vaccination will help prevent him from catching a disease. Jaimon is in tip-top health now, which is awesome!
Believe what you will, but even I know it's smart to keep vaccinations up to date. Thanks, Doc.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Annual exams are vital to an animal's health and well-being. Even if the animal looks perfectly fine, we still need to check everything out, give the necessary vaccinations, and update its medical records. In this case, trimming his hooves should take care of Jaimon's lameness, which could have led to injuries and arthritis. You identified the problem and gave the appropriate diagnosis. Nice work. Your thoroughness will help save this animal. Superb job with this one, Doctor.
I was hoping you could have a gander at Penelope for me. Food falls right out of her mouth. She's taken after a keeper, I fear.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
I noticed she can't even close her mouth completely. It's a bit rough. She's always hungry.
No point in piddling around. I'll get the sedation started. Don't worry, honey. We'll have you fit as a fiddle in no time.
Know how to spell hippopotamus? I still have to look it up, and I've been working with him for years.
What do you think? Is everything normal?
You sure know your stuff.
Pulse is A-OK. I reckon I'll never like this part. A little lower than normal. Not to worry, it's probably just the anesthesia.
Poor gal didn't get to finish her meal.
Let's get this to the lab lickety-split.
That's a beaut. No. Besides the eating problem, everything's normal. Yeah.
There you go. Make those teeth nice and even. I suppose that went well.
Don't be a Fruit Loop. It went better than well. Penelope's bushy tail. Great job, Doctor.
It's a good thing Richard brought this to your attention. Overgrown teeth can make it difficult, even impossible, for an animal to eat. If not treated in time, Penelope's troublesome teeth could have caused weight loss, weakness, and infection. Fortunately, trimming her incisors will allow her to eat normally again right away. I see we're in agreement about this animal's diagnosis. You touched on all the right points in getting this patient's history. Superb job with this one, Doctor.
I noticed our gecko Seymour has swelling on his underside by his tail. Good thing we started the exam already. We found something hard, so Nikki anesthetized him for surgery.
But really, Miguel was on the ball with everything and he discovered the problem. So we've done our part. Yay for us! And now Seymour is all yours. Seymour is in good hands. But I bet you know that since they're your hands. Is that normal? Yep, you read my mind, Doctor. Looks normal to me.
What's that? He's never had any illness that I know about.
Looks like he needs surgery. You know what to do, right? Okay, got the lab work drawn. Better make sure the whole area is clean.
How serious is it, Doc?
It must be tough to really get in there, you know? When these guys are so little, Seymour weighs less than a pound, and he's full grown. Make sure you get a good sample. Way to do it, Doc!
Not at all. Not that I know of. Whatever the problem is, it hasn't affected his appetite. Seymour's been eating his fruit-based baby food and crickets regularly.
This'll close the incision and help it heal right up. You are one of the stars of the staff. It'll take him some time to recover, what with the antibiotics and us checking in on him every 2 minutes. Well, maybe not every 2 minutes, but I believe he'll be fine.
It's thanks to you that Seymour will soon be back in business.
So Seymour has an abscess under his femoral pores caused by serratia. In layman's terms, he's got a bacterial infection which formed a mass. Reptile abscesses are hard and firm and must be surgically removed to heal. I see we're in agreement about this animal's diagnosis. Excellent job of getting the patient's history. Overall, you did an excellent job in treating this animal.
I've caught Olivia itching herself. When I took a closer look, I could see she's been losing her hair in patches.
She's been well cared for because Alicia is the best. We're all the best. You know what I mean.
It's a real mystery as far as I can tell.
Which I'm sure you'll solve. Right, Doctor? Doesn't she look sweet when she's sleeping? How does it sound? Heart and lungs are clear. That's a good sign. That's a normal reading. Ooh, what a cutie!
You are definitely a more than adequate doctor.
See that? See that? Something's going on because it's showing up bright green. You know, it's so cute when she holds her food with her tiny paws and nibbles away. Blood sample drawn. Is there fungus among us? Okay, doctor. Tell me what you want me to administer.
Ringworm can spread from animals to humans, but not to worry. This medication will kill the fungus. It started about a week ago and has been getting worse. Not that I've seen. Yes, frontline. I can tell you take pride in what you do.
I'm so happy. We're all so happy. Olivia will be looking and feeling better in no time.
Due to our doctor's swift examination and treatment.
A fungal infection like ringworm often causes itching and hair loss. Olivia there presented with the classic symptoms. With proper fungus-killing medicine, the skin will return to normal and the hair will grow back. Remember, it's important to treat these contagious problems right away. Otherwise, it could spread to a cage mate or even the keeper. Excellent. Your diagnosis is on the nose. You touched on all the right points in getting this patient's history. Your treatment of this animal was outstanding. I've never seen anything like it. I've been told that the number of visitors to our zoo has been steadily rising since you got here, and I've got a feeling that it's partly due to your keeping our animals healthy and happy. When I said as much to the directors, they fell over themselves, insisting that I present you with this, the Tourism Award.
Glad you're here. Gia Lee's really uncomfortable. Her urine's bloody and it looks like it's painful for her to urinate. We don't want to wait on this one.
It's weird since she's healthy otherwise, and her diet hasn't changed any. She's sleeping like a baby now, so jump right in. Poor little girl must be so miserable.
She's eating okay and her feces are normal, but she is drinking much more than she usually does. She's acting a little strange, probably because of all that squatting she's got to do to urinate. Other than that, she seems okay. No.
Interesting, see that?
That was a fly move. Good thinking.
I think it's normal. No, wait. What's that there? Ew, the urinalysis shows high levels of blood and bacteria. All right, blood drawn. You're like her angel. Okay, which one of these should we administer? A natural at working with nature. Great choice, Doctor. What can you tell me about the reading? Right, that's what I think too. What does it say? P.U. Exactly what I thought.
This was a messy one, but I don't have any problem getting up close and personal with these animals to find out what's going on. It's why I'm here.
I'm sure Gia Lee is happy to be on her way back to good health. Thanks, Doctor.
As you might have guessed, Gia Lee has a bladder infection. Good thing Takashi alerted us to the problem right away. Otherwise, she could have developed bladder stones or even a kidney infection. If all goes well, a course of antibiotics will take care of the infection. But remember, many animals won't eat for a day due to stress from anesthesia, so you'll need to adjust any oral meds accordingly. You identified the problem and gave the appropriate diagnosis. Nice work. You touched on all the right points in getting this patient's history. Superb job with this one, Doctor.
Hey, Doc, we got a problem here with Russell. I'll let Takashi tell you about it. He seems anxious.
I'm not anxious. I'm concerned. When I came in early this morning, I noticed right away that Russell here was limping. So I looked at his left foot, and sure enough, there's a hole in his pad. It's important that he gets treated right away.
Relax, man. His record says he's current with his tetanus vaccination. And now, we got the best vet in town to treat him, right, Doc? Russell lives with 3 female elephants. Huh, lucky guy. I'll tell you, that ain't comfortable. Right on. Don't want to cause an infection. Hey, Russ, Doc's treating you pretty good, huh? I don't think that was a good idea. Right. Hoof trimming will help heal his foot. What medication do you want me to administer?
Your treatment really rocks. About a week. Russell's been eating normally. Believe me, I know. It's not easy getting 400 pounds of hay and alfalfa a day. Aside from the limp, Russell has been acting normally.
Good thing you could help, Doc. Takashi, I bet you're pretty relieved, huh?
Sure am. I'll make sure to schedule flushing and cleaning his wound for the next several weeks. Thanks again, Doctor.
It appears Russell somehow got a puncture wound that never completely healed on its own. Trimming the edges promotes healing, and with proper cleaning and care, Russell's huge foot will return to normal. I see we're in agreement about this animal's diagnosis. You touched on all the right points in getting this patient's history. I have to say you're putting in a good effort.
I noticed Jenny was limping and seemed reluctant to walk around. Spent all her time in the water, so I got in there and pulled her out.
You didn't jump in with the other penguins, did you? Anyway, she's asleep on the table. Oh my gosh! Do you know that Jenny's egg finally hatched? Her baby boy is such a cutie pie. What's that mean? You're a natural. Nope, nothing abnormal. What do you see?
The red flag for me was when I saw her staying in the water more than the 19 other penguins. Jenny seems her normal self, but her not moving around as much meant something was up.
Looks like you found something. We'll know if the swab picks up any microorganisms because they'll grow in the laboratory. Good idea. Don't want to cause an infection. Okay, now we can remove that mass there. These forceps are just the thing to use to remove unwanted tissue. That looks better already.
By hook or crook, we're going to turn this around. Well, she's limping a little and seems to be spending more time in the water. Going on 2 days now. Seems to be, but it's kind of hard to tell.
I'm learning so much from you.
Good. Everything's right as rain now.
Her foot's looking way better already. Which of these meds does the situation call for? You're doing so well. Oh goodness, that was tough to get through. At least it seemed that way to me. I'm sure to you it's old hat.
I'll make sure Jenny's dry docked until her foot heals. Plus, I'll stay on top of her antibiotics. Can't afford to have all your hard work go down the tubes now, can we?
Jenny has bumblefoot, which is caused by chronic irritation to the bottom of the foot. The lesion can become infected and make it hard for her to get food, so it should be surgically opened and cleaned out. Follow up with antibiotics and your patient should recover without any problems. I agree with your diagnosis. Great job. Excellent job of getting the patient's history. You covered every step with panache.
Our Komodo Dragon is bleeding. Angela's tail is turning black, and I saw some blood on the floor of her exhibit. We have to do whatever we can.
Miguel thought we should act fast. So did I, of course. But anyway, she's all ready for you.
I love working with reptiles. I know I'm alone in this, but I'm partial to snakes, especially the more dangerous ones. They're often the most beautiful. A few days, and it seems worse today. No? Not at all.
You'll be okay, sweetie. This nice doctor will take good care of you.
Why is it black like that?
If it's a fungal infection, this test will tell us. We should be able to find out what kind of infection it is when the results get back from the lab. I'll have this sent over to the lab right away. I hope I can work with you more often. Good idea. Don't want to cause an infection.
You sure are cutting a swell.
What medication should be administered? Right. Antibiotics are needed to prevent infection.
Bully for you. Outstanding.
Do you think the pulse is normal? Pulse is right where it should be.
Everyone is impressed so far.
What's the pulse ox reading? You did it! I never had any doubt, of course. I mean, if I'd have done it, whoosh, you know? But you, excellent work.
It may have seemed like a big step to remove the tail, but it meant we caught the problem in time. Her tail will heal just fine.
Angela was suffering from a bacterial infection and necrosis of the tail, which always needs to be removed. Luckily for us and her, the Komodo dragon protects against predators with the ability to grow a new tail, so she'll have a new one in no time. You identified the problem and gave the appropriate diagnosis. Nice work. Excellent job of getting the patient's history. This patient was in good hands with you.
I'm glad to see you, Doctor. Although I wish it'd been under better circumstances, Mongo here is experiencing some bleeding and pain. I was there when the fight started, and the other gorilla bit the tip of his left thumb off.
He's all prepped and ready for you to do your thing. I know you'll be careful.
Unfortunately, it's all too common for Mongo and Jelani to behave this way. No wonder he's injured. That's unnerving.
You gotta do that to prevent infection. That wasn't a pretty sight, but solid work in removing the bone fragment. Hope he won't have too much trouble getting used to his new thumb.
No, he's not on any. No, just licking his thumb and holding it like it hurts. Aside from this incident, Mongo is very healthy. He eats primate biscuits, fruits, and veggies regularly. Impressive work, Doctor.
What you hearing? Breathing and pulse are normal. That's intense. That's a normal reading. That's totally gnarly.
What a sharp individual you are.
Hey, a major thumbs up! Don't forget, Alicia, Mongo will need to be on antibiotics for the next week and a half.
Of course. It's as good as done. Good work, Doctor.
Just as we suspected, Mongo's thumb trauma resulted in bleeding and bone fracture. The usual cleansing and stitching will take care of him. In the wild, Mongo's thumb might have gotten infected and caused serious damage to his whole finger and hand. I agree with your diagnosis. Great job. Your thoroughness will help save this animal. You covered every step with panache.
Sorry to call you back here, Doctor, but Mario has another problem. He, along with the other chimps, are experiencing diarrhea. I don't need to tell you that we need to get this under control ASAP.
You certainly don't need to tell me. You go on and have a look at Mario.
Mario's 3 female cage mates are smart. They treat him like a king or a baby brother, depending on how he behaves.
What you hearing? I do declare, the breathing and pulse are normal.
According to my records, all the chimpanzees are current on their annual exams and vaccinations. Yeah, all the animals in the group have the same problem. 3 days, and it seems to be getting worse. Yep, normal readings.
It sure ain't a bouquet of roses.
Looks good to me. These 4 chimps are inseparable. They share everything, including, unfortunately, problems like this.
Any idea what could be going on? I know this is necessary, but I'm not too keen on it.
You know, I was apprehensive at first, but I feel much better now that I see how well you're handling him.
Blood drawn. I'm fixing to send it over to the lab now. What medication are you thinking we should give the patient? That should kill those parasite critters.
Fine work, Doctor.
Mario ain't the only one who's happy as a claim you took care of this. Right, Alicia?
Yes, I'm relieved as well. I'll watch the bunch and make sure they continue to stay healthy and happy.
As Mario's case confirms, the Balantidium coli parasite is extremely contagious and causes acute diarrhea. Treatment of the entire group should start right away to avoid further sickness and dehydration. I see we're in agreement about this animal's diagnosis. Your thoroughness will help save this animal. Overall, you did an excellent job in treating this animal. Excellent work on those cases. You've really shown you know the importance of keeping our animals healthy and safe, especially those that need it most, endangered species. Because of your ongoing efforts, I'm proud to offer you this Conservation Award.
We've got a little furry friend who needs our care.
Joy has a strange mass. Seems to have grown alarmingly fast since I first noticed it.
Alicia very wisely brought her here because that's what she does and what we do. Well, Joy's right here.
You know, it always surprises me the misconceptions people have. Despite Bat's reputation, Joy lives mostly off fruit. Yes, I think so. It was tiny last week, but it's gotten bigger and bigger.
"15 other bats, but Joy's the only one with this mass, so that's good. Seems normal, right? I totally agree. Seems normal. What do we have here? With you on the case, Joy will be back to her old self in no time. What do you think that is? See anything?
That's the attention she deserves.
Remember, gentle cutting strokes to the tissue. The lab will tell us if they see any signs of damage or disease. You're a miracle worker. I feel a group hug coming on. Don't worry, she won't suck your... Wow, cancer. Lucky you found and removed it.
It's fortunate that the mass affected her soft tissue only, and not her bone.
A close call, but Joy's gonna be fine thanks to you.
The mass on Joy's wing is a tumor, squamous cell carcinoma. Sounds scary, but it's completely curable if removed in time. After surgery, Joy's flight should be restricted for a while so that her wing can properly heal. You made the right call on that diagnosis. Your thoroughness will help save this animal. Superb job with this one, Doctor.
Oh man, it's Nico again. We got another funky situation to look into immediately, if not sooner.
I'm not sitting back on this one either. Nico isn't eating.
It seems like he tries to eat, but can't. I'm worried.
Least he seems to be keeping a stiff upper lip. Any ideas, Doc? Sometimes I wonder what it's like to run as fast as a lion. Bet it's almost as cool as hanging 10. Is the breathing normal? Yep, I agree.
Yep. No. None of those.
Is that a good reading? Do I get paid extra for this? Whoa, that's high. Oh man, that smells worse than morning breath. Look at how bad his teeth and gums are. All right, blood drawn.
Break it down. Go to town. You're going off course.
Gnarly. Solid work! If you didn't get rid of that calculus, more plaque would have formed, making it extra tough to clean later on. Sure hope this guy feels better after this. Whoa, dude, that must have hurt.
His teeth are looking good. I'm glad you could get to him right away. Fascinating work.
It can be hard to keep track of a ton of procedures, believe me, I know. But you made it look like Easy Street.
Hey, I think our buddy Nico wants to thank you.
Nico's teeth were becoming a serious concern, with 2 of them abscessed in the lower jaw. He could have been facing weakness, infection, or much worse. Proper dental cleaning and extraction of the problem teeth will help keep him healthy for a long time to come. I see we're in agreement about this animal's diagnosis. You have a perfect understanding of this patient's history. Overall, you did a good job in treating this animal.
Roger's ready for his annual exam. You should know that he's been scratching at his ears a lot.
Takashi hit me up for my opinion. When I checked out his paw, I found a little blood on the nails.
Aside from the scratching, Roger hasn't been experiencing any other problems.
Can you believe that some people keep big animals like Roger as pets in their backyards? Man, that's just wrong. Time to check those vitals. Heart and lungs are clear. That's cool.
Noticed it about a week ago. I know Roger's appetite is fine at least. He and the other bear both eat bear chow, fresh vegetables, fish, and fruits regularly.
Yup, those are normal readings. Nothing can stop you. Whoa, dude!
You sure are jamming.
It seems like a lot, but that's normal for this kind of animal. Must be tick season. I'm stoked how you're handling this.
Yeah, hand me some skin.
Any idea what could be going on? Looks like a normal retina. You're a pro at this. See anything? Which of these meds should we administer? Solid choice, Doc! Vaccinations are a primo way to prevent disease.
Let's set Roger's next annual exam right before tick season gets into full swing.
Right on! No need to get all crazy when you can stop those ticks before they start bugging him.
A rabies vaccination is par for the course in a yearly examination, but the ticks are not. Ticks can cause scratching and irritation and even lead to a worse infection. Treatment with the appropriate ointment will ensure the ticks won't return. You identified the problem and gave the appropriate diagnosis. Nice work. Excellent job of getting the patient's history. You covered every step with panache.
People come and go all the time, but I'm always sad when one of our animals has to leave. Jeffrey is off to a new zoo, so we have to check him out and make sure he's ready for the transition.
He's a good sort, Jeffrey is. He seems in good nick. Bet you he's raring to go. Camels are able to endure strenuous treks across the desert much better than we are. I think he'll be just fine when you examine him.
Nice change to work on an animal who's awake. Looks clear.
Completely normal on all accounts. No, he's fine. He's just here for a checkup. There's nothing wrong with him that I know of.
Feels okay to me. How's the inner ear look? He was the first baby camel born here at the zoo. Isn't he the cutest looking thing? How do you reckon it sounds?
Give this fella here the full workup.
Woo-wee! Extra raw! I feel like we're two peas in a pod. Yeah, the temperature's normal. My kinfolk would just die if they had to do this. Alrighty, blood drawn. Go and try another area. Right, have a nice clean shave to start the TB test. This test here will tell us if our friend has TB.
Looks like he's ready for his walkabout.
I'll miss Jeffrey an awful bunch.
You still got me, lovey.
Don't remind me.
A tuberculosis test is always required for shipping to a zoo in another state. Camels are a species that typically react to the bovine tuberculin in the test, which can result in a false positive. Luckily, Jeffrey's test came out negative. If it were otherwise, we would have had to call a state vet to get a comparative TB test. I was just finishing up the health certificate to give to Jeffrey's new zoo. You identified the problem and gave the appropriate diagnosis. Nice work. You touched on all the right points in getting this patient's history. Overall, you did an excellent job in treating this animal.
Aw, dude, Cody here is in a serious situation. He's got a gnarly lump on his tail that's grown faster than my inbox.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't just as concerned.
Once I get him comfortable, you can take care of him. Let's hurry, Doc. I totally don't understand it. Cody hasn't been having any other problems recently. What do you think that means? Yep, both are normal. Yep, looks normal. I hate this part of the job. Yeah, the temperature's normal.
What could that be on his tail? Not a tumor, I hope. You obviously know what you're doing.
That hurts just looking at it. Hope the lab will have good results for us. You'll need to cut enough of the hair so we can disinfect the area. Yep, that's the way to clean it. Careful, it's real sharp. They'll use this sample to see if there's signs of damage or disease.
You deserve to look so confident.
Those forceps are perfect for getting that gnarly stuff out.
Excellent. Simply superb. Not that I've seen. Yes, he is. Not really.
If it had been cancer, man, I was freaking out when I saw that lump.
In this case, the worry was warranted, but Cody will be fine. Thanks to you, Doctor.
It's imperative to get a biopsy on any unknown mass like the lump you saw there on Cody's tail. A lot of people don't know, but even animals can get cancer. Luckily, the bump was only a poxvirus lesion. Even so, it still needed to be removed to prevent it from spreading and damaging tissue. Excellent. Your diagnosis is on the nose. Your thoroughness will help save this animal. Your treatment was first rate.
Yesterday, Susanna accidentally flew into the wall when she was startled by a loud noise. She seemed okay right after, but I've been keeping a close eye on her just in case.
A really good idea, because now Miguel noticed she hasn't been bearing any weight on her left leg. That's where you come in. I love hawks. They've got that whole graceful, majestic thing going on. Is the breathing normal? Her breathing sounds good if you ask me. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Susanna is a free spirit, a lot like me. This injury must be driving her crazy.
You felt something, didn't you? Ouch! Look at that fracture!
Despite everything, Susanna is the typical hawk. She's been eating mice, rats, the usual.
It's a lot better than a cast. Animals want to rip those right off. With a doctor like you, she'll heal in no time.
No, not really. Not that I've seen. Just started today, though she probably hurt her leg yesterday. I'll be sure and keep checking on her. Don't want her to break something else, no matter how much she wants to move.
I'll give Susanna her antibiotics each and every day. Nice work, Doctor.
A fractured leg will heal best when it's stabilized with an external fixator and pins. It's also important to limit the bird's space, to discourage her from too much activity. Susanna's got 3 to 4 weeks ahead of her before it heals completely. I agree with your diagnosis. Great job. Excellent job of getting the patient's history. Your treatment of this animal was outstanding. The level of care you've shown since you've started here has been extraordinary. And in the spirit of your dedication, it is my great honor to present to you our highest accolade, the Excellence Award. You've certainly earned it. You've examined elephants, cared for kangaroos, operated on otters, and provided for penguins and panda alike. You've done all that was asked of you and then some, and I couldn't be more pleased. I wanted to let you know I've been offered a grant to study leatherback turtles in Africa, so I'm going to need someone to take over for me here at the zoo. Think you're up for it? You've certainly proven you're perfect for the job. On behalf of the vet techs, the keepers, and, of course, the animals, thank you so much for all you've done.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. We got to help a lot of wonderful animals, and we got to learn some things too along the way. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm taking a new job being in charge of this zoo. Give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Which case was your favorite? Was there a particular animal you really enjoyed seeing me operate on? Let me know. And of course, subscribe for more nostalgic gaming. Don't forget the playlist in the description box to see other simulation games on this channel, including the Endangered Animals zoo game. That is the sequel to this one. But yes, remember, you are special and loved, you are never alone, and you're always welcome to come back and hang out anytime. Until the next video, God bless, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye, everyone.